Hello YouTube, it's Chris Wes O'Brien's. Long time no video. Sorry about that. But I do have 6 pipes to show you, 5 finished and one that's sort of on the go and nearly there. I've just got back yesterday actually from 3 days having a fantastic experience in Bruno Nuttens' workshop. I mean, Bruno is he's a Belgian guy. He's lived in France for years now, and I met him at the first French pipe show down in St Claude a while back, and we sort of got sort of chatting on the day. And Bruno said if I ever wanted to come and see his workshop, I'd be welcome. So we sort of arranged it for the interseason. So finished in the kitchen, gave myself a week off break, and then went down on Monday morning, just gone, and stayed with Bruno and his family for 3 days. They've got a beautiful big house, lovely garden, fantastic workshop he's got. And Bruno is just simply a master pipe maker. I mean, he's so accurate. Everything is just bob on perfect, and he was really great, great teacher. So before I went down, he sort of asked, is there anything I was interested in particular in learning? And so for me, that was the billiard shape. I kind of stay away from the billiard in that it's such an iconic shape that if it's wrong, it's really obviously wrong. And although I get great mentorship from the guys over in the UK, particularly Chris Kelly, there's nothing like being with somebody doing it hands-on, watching them do it and then copying their movements. I mean, that's the best way for me to learn. So I got the opportunity to do that. And Bruno decided that the best way to learn to do a billiard is to do one freehand, so no lathe, hand drilled, shaped on the French wheel, and then files and sandpaper to get to your shape. So I did. So I've got 2 kind of really ugly duckling pipes, which are going to be shot pipes to show you. Because when you're learning, you don't get everything right first time. That's normal. So I'm gonna, warts and all, as I promised when I started doing these videos a while back. So the first pipe is my freehand, my first true classic shape freehand billiard. So there you go. Doesn't look too bad, does it? It's a bit sort of, I've taken a bit too much off on the bottom, which you can see, which makes it look sort of curved because of the taper. So I've ended up doing like almost a double taper on the bottom line, which is a bit ugly, but not the end of the world. However, the drilling is off. You can't see because I've put a bowl coating in, so you can't see the drilling, but it's off by about 2.5 mil. So that's not a sellable pipe, and I went quite thin on the walls, as you can see. Plus there's a little problem here just with the briar. So yeah, not my my finest pipe, but I love it because I learned so much when I was making it, and there's a lot of great memories in that pipe. So it was just a piece of Ebershon for learning on. So no real grain orientation going on other than how the Ebershon was cut. But yeah, so there we go. Not bad stain on it though. So yeah, that's the first one. Second one has a bit of a story as well. So this one, what's wrong with this, I hear you say? Nice bowl, happy with that. Got the bottom lines correct on this one. And my first ever go at sandblasting, which is why this is an ugly duckling, because if I move my fingers you can say I got a bit heavy-handed and didn't move the pipe around enough, which took away too much ruining the lines on the shank, unfortunately. So didn't do it on the sides, you can see, just on the top and the bottom, which is unfortunate, but again, huge learning curve. I don't have sandblasting equipment in my workshop, so hence this was quite exciting for me to have a go at. It's got some nice sort of bird's eye stuff going on, and it's Eldritch rod. I took some rods with me because it's a material I'm used to using, and I love it. And so this is the heavy metal bronze pipe. So shop pipe number 2. Did rather well for myself. Then there were 3 more pipes. So Jay, who I've spoken about before in the US, he was wanting another pipe from me. So and he knew that I was going to visit Bruno, and one of Bruno's Bruno's sort of his shape that he made is his Twiggy shape, which is kind of like a how would you describe it? It's more or less sort of a curved Dublin, but it's got a bit left on the bottom, which makes a really interesting line underneath, and it's got a true pencil shank and stem. So Jay asked if I could do him a pencil shanked Dublin with a bit of plateau. So I thought, yeah, that learning a billiard would be great. Learning how to do a pencil shank would be great. I don't have a metal lathe in my workshop. I'm using a wood lathe at the minute. I'm hoping to once I've saved a bit more money, I should be able to buy one. But it's just out of reach at the minute. So I'll be getting one of those within the next year. That's the plan. But Bruno actually he goes fairly thin on the metal lathe with the shank and the stem, but actually he shapes his pencil shanks by hand. The only other person that does really good pencil shanks that I know of is Chris Kelly. Just by way of interest, he does a fantastic pipe called a Slender Man, which is beautiful as well. So yeah, I was really keen to sort of learn how to do that, and so Bruno showed me how to do a pencil shank on the French wheel, which is some serious finesse he's got there, because you've got 60 grit sandpaper on a flat wheel, and you're trying to shave off less than a millimeter, on a length. I mean, mind blowing. So I got to have a go at that. So on the build up to the pencil shank, a pencil shank is 8 millimeters or less in diameter. That's the widest part on a pencil. Where the ridges are. That's 8 millimeters. So anything over that isn't a true pencil shank. So I made I just made a Dublin with a slim shank to start off with, just to get used to the feel of things. So it's got a nice taper. So if you've seen my Dublins before, this is how I'm going to make my Dublins from now on. Absolutely fell in love with this shape once I'd learned the skills to do it. So unless it's a filter pipe, obviously, in which case you've got to scale up. But here you go. This is my first go at sort of a slim shank, tapered Dublin. Again, Eldritch resin. This is the slate. It's kind of a blue end of the slate. And I blasted. It's got quite a cool. There's some interesting staining with the buffing wheel and things, but it looks like the surface of the moon on the blast. It's rather cool. I really love this block, and I was super pleased to actually get something sandblasted properly on the second time. So as you can see, no errors on that blast. So that was pipe number 3 that I made, and the first pipe that I was sort of happy with. Excuse me, sorry, it's a bit dry. I give myself a hell of a tongue bite today. I was puffing away on some Virginia tobacco, and I really wasn't paying attention to my cadence and that. I've really got a dry throat and a sore tongue. So then that was the challenge, and with Bruno's support, feedback, watching me all the way through, managed to make a true pencil shank. Doublings, so smooth pipe, which Jay wanted, and plateau. So here you go. Here's the pencil shank. You can see, if you want to see the difference between the sizes, there's quite a big difference there in the size of the shanks. I mean, this is so fragile. I was sanding it and it was bending. It's not fragile, it's reinforced. It's just very, very slim, you know. It's reinforced, so the shank gets reinforced, and I know Chris Kelly does the same thing with his shanks, so you get a reverse tenon. So there's a steel rod which goes in, so that was really interesting drilling, learning how to do that, learning how to deal with the metal, how to fix it in place and all those things. And then yeah, the Cumberland goes in. So one of my things I'm going to be investing in is a higher quality French wheel than the one I've got, because there's so much that you can do on it. I had no idea how much pipe making and how much time you can save once you get good at it. I mean, Bruno is like a machine on it, and his touch is just so delicate. I'm nowhere near that, but yeah, lots of practice is called for, but a decent wheel to practice on is also called for. So looking into that at the minute as well. Let's have a look at the it's got a nice bit of grain on it, this pipe. Nice block. It's Italian briar. I think all of them are Italian briar, but this certainly is. And there we go. So that was that one. Success. And challenge completed, Jay. And then this next pipe was another billiard, slightly larger than the other two. And this one is, I can't attend the UK pipe show this year, which I'm a bit gutted about, to be honest. I love going to that. And you know, there hasn't been one with the dreaded COVID. There hasn't been one for a while, and Tom's managed to organise it. But I've got to be working in the kitchen when it's on. So I was chatting to Toking Tommy, and I said, well, you know, I want to feel involved, so I'll donate a pipe for the raffle. So I made a pipe, and this is you know, one of the only sandblasted pipes that I've done. So whoever wins it will have, you know, until I get some sandblasting equipment. It's going to be a rare old thing. I don't know whether that's good or not. So yeah, so I made a sandblasted billiard for the raffle. There you go. It's just oiled, and obviously stained. I did a orange and base and a chocolate over the top before I oiled it to go with the chocolate and ivory Eldritch resin that Chris makes for me. It's not part of his regular stock either. This is a colour that I request from Chris, and he very kindly does for me when I run out. But I think it's yeah, I think they go quite well. If you can see, let's put some light on just so you can. Yeah, I think it suits quite well, and yeah. Nice prize for someone. Hopefully they'll be happy with that. So again, sandblasted, coated, no filter on this, and I'm proud and happy that Tom's letting me give something to the raffle like that. So there we go. So that was my 3 days with Bruno. You might think that's prolific. He made so many pipes in the time it took me to make 5. It's embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. He's got loads more experience than me. But it was so kind of him to have me. I just had the best time. We're already talking about the next one. We had a bit of a riot. We seemed to get on quite well. So yeah, can't wait for the next one. And then so finally, before I leave you, I've been working on this first ever calabash shape. It's just naturally oiled at the minute. I did notice when I oiled it, there's a couple of marks in there, so I'm going to have to sand that back and re-oil it, but that's not an issue. That's for a guy called Darren. It's one of my churchies with Eldritch Blue and Black Cumberland, and this is a 9mm with an adapter. So this was a request from Darren. He wanted to be able to either have a filter or not, and this little ring fits flush, as you can see, so nothing's going to get in, so it'll be a nice natural normal draw. So hopefully Darren will be happy with that. Like I say, first go to calabash. It's got some good grain on it, this pipe. Nice bit of bird's eye running around all the top, which I was hoping for, and I left some plateau on there, so it's quite characterful, I think. Yeah. And he wanted a tamper to go with it, which is nowhere near finished, you can see, but it's kind of like a sort of a rifle shell sort of look to it. And when it goes in, it ends up making the whole thing look like Aladdin's lamp. So I've had some fun playing around with this. It needs sanding and oiling, and just a little bit of finishing on the shaping, but yeah, it should be good. So that's almost done, and that's it. I am working on some other stuff as well, believe it or not. I mean, it's I gave myself the week off to recover from the season in the kitchen, and now I'm getting my full geek on, and I'm absolutely loving it. Right, I've been rambling on for long enough, so I'll let you all go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me in my pipe making journey so far. I'm loving every minute of it. Hope you all have a great rest of the week, and I'll catch up with you when I've got some more stuff to show you. So all the best. Take care. Bye.